Hey, I'm the Cinema King, and this is 50 Random Movies I'm glad I gave a chance. Make sure you click the link below to see part 1 of this series. Number 30, Dangerous Liaisons. This is what happens when you don't have the internet, you don't have any streaming services, and you need some kind of source of entertainment. In this case, the source of entertainment is people's emotions and placing wagers to see if you can make somebody fall in love with you and then break their heart, ruin their lives. Classic tales of frolicking and fun. Number 29, Titan. This is one of the most insane films that I have ever seen. It's a French film about a woman. She's a serial killer that is out on a run, and she ends up having sex with a car. There's definitely some elements of body horror here. It's shot very, very well. The performances are very committed, very dedicated. Number 28, Climax. I really appreciated the choreography and how far the camera is away from the action so that you can fully appreciate the choreography. During a party where the dancers are celebrating their performance or their training, somebody spikes the punch with acid. Most of the film is, or like at least the second half of the film, is pretty much just a really, really bad trip. To be completely honest, I kind of hated the experience of watching this film. What I find the most intriguing or interesting is how a movie could be so disturbing and not enjoyable to watch, but it's something that I could still appreciate and gravitate toward. That's a pretty rare experience. Most of the time, if I hate a movie, I'm just not going to watch it again, not think about it again. But this is a film that really stuck with me. Number 27, The Mist. A group of people are trapped in a store and they are defending themselves against these monsters that are attacking them out of the mist. The ending is pretty dark and twisted, but I really appreciate how they committed to it fully. And it subverted my expectations, and it is just one of the greatest endings in the history of cinema. Number 26, Closer. This film is about 4 people who are in relationships with each other that are all cheating on each other and backstabbing each other pretty much. A messy cesspool of emotions and lies, deceit, and it is all played by 4 amazingly talented actors. We have Natalie Portman, Jude Law, Julia Roberts, and Clive Owen. That level of talent mixed with all of the drama and the overall premise was a very, very intriguing combination for sure. Number 25, Revolutionary Road. This film stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. This is the alternate universe version of Titanic. This is what would happen if Rose and Jack had an extremely toxic relationship that did not pan out. This film is about a married couple that have pursued the American dream. They have the white picket fence, their home, they're living the middle class life, and they have all of the things that are supposed to make you happy, but they feel the exact opposite. We see what it's like when you're in a marriage and you lack the tools to express yourself. You lack the tools to express how you are feeling repressed, or if you're feeling anxiety, contempt. You only present yourself as one way for your partner, but on the inside you feel like a completely different person. We get to explore all of these dynamics between 2 of some of the greatest actors in the history of humankind. Number 24, Train to Busan. This is a Korean film that takes place during a zombie apocalypse, and the entire film mostly takes place on a train. This film does an amazing job building the suspense and really exploring the premise about how you would deal with a zombie apocalypse in such a claustrophobic area. Another aspect of the film I appreciated is that the zombies are fast. The Walking Dead, I appreciate The Walking Dead as much as the next person. There's something anticlimactic about a zombie slowly walking up to you with their hands out like this. That can only bring so much suspense. Like a zombie that can run, climb, jump, and sprint after you, that is terrifying. A lot of people have not been exposed to foreign cinema, but this would probably be a great place for most people to start. A lot of action, some humor, great performances, and a lot of visual storytelling, and it's just a very well-made movie with an emotional connection. The heart of it being a father trying to protect his daughter from the zombies. Number 23, Enemy. This film stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and he is a college professor who is just a normal guy trying to live a normal life until he discovers that there's an actor out there that looks exactly like him, and he ends up meeting this actor, and that kind of throws his life for a loop. It does have one of the most unique color grading that I've seen in the film. It is probably one of Denis Villeneuve's slower paced films. If you do appreciate the vibe of it, then it is definitely worth the experience. Number 22, The Last Duel. I think this might be one of Ridley Scott's most underrated films. A knight ends up having a significant dispute with another man and challenges him to a final duel that's very violent and visceral. I think the film does a really great exploration of subjectivity and how the exact same scene from one person's perspective could be a humorous and lighthearted, while from another character's perspective, it could be an absolutely terrifying moment in their lives. Number 21, The Handmaiden. Each character is implementing the art of war, art of seduction, the 48 laws of power, and it's all combined into just a series of plot twists, lies, deceit, manipulation. I really appreciated the craftsmanship in this film, the cinematography, the camera movement, the performances. Every aspect of film that you can analyze is done and executed at one of the highest levels. It is very, very well made film. Number 20, Glengarry Glen Ross. A group of salesmen are battling it out, competing to see which one basically gets to keep their job. This is the movie that Michael Scott from The Office is always quoting when he says, "Always be closing." This film is adapted from an iconic play, so it's mostly a bunch of guys in a room talking, but it is very, very well written. Great monologues, great dialogue, great performances. And there is something that's just very powerful about a group of very talented actors in a room together, just battling it out. Number 19, Rushmore. This film is about a high school student who falls in love with one of the teachers, and his mentor also falls in love with the same teacher. So that causes a very complicated dynamic between the two of them. The protagonist would not be considered a everyman because of his immense talent and how diverse his talent is, but where he is more relatable is in terms of just the heartbreak and being in love with somebody that may be more interested in somebody else. Number 18, The Meyerowitz Stories. I really appreciate and enjoy Noah Baumbach's writing style. I'm also fascinated by the casting choices where some actors that in some circles are known for more of their comedic roles, like Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler, put in some very, very profound, dramatic performances. What I find interesting is how subtle a lot of the moments are, where he could put these characters in very mundane circumstances, or sometimes the stakes feel low. It still ends up pulling you in, and you still end up becoming very invested in their journey, even though the world isn't at stake. Number 17, Babylon. Yes, this is a long film, and it does lull at some points, but overall, I really enjoyed the experience. The amount of choreography that you're dealing with when during battle scenes, huge party scenes where people are falling from the ceiling, an elephant is going through. There's just so much chaos in this film, but they still pay attention to the character moments too. There still are quiet times where you can have time to get to know the characters. They're being vulnerable with each other right before they're thrown back into the heart of more chaos. And that wraps up part 2 of this series. How many of these movies have you seen? Are any of these your favorite? Any hidden gems here? Or were any of these really disappointing when you finally gave them a chance? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned to see the final part of this series.